Good evening, everyone. Welcome sa ating presentation about
Mhm.
FCC.
Yeah. Mm.
So, I request everyone to mute para tuloy-tuloy yung ating presentation. So, my name is Alvin Balos, co-founder of First Choice CoinDAO. So, to start, let's discuss first the evolution of money. Kasi may nagtatanong, paano ba nagkaroon ng cryptocurrency? So, let's go back a little bit for us to understand how cryptocurrency is created. So, as you can see here, makikita natin nag-evolve yung pera mula sa tinatawag nilang barter. Nung unang panahon kasi, wala naman talagang pera. The medium of exchange or yung transactions ay tinatawag nilang barter or palitan lang ng goods and services. Halimbawa, kung ano yung product mo, ipapalit mo lang dun sa product na kailangan mo. Let's say for example, meron kang bigas, tapos kailangan mo ng isda, hindi makikipagpalit ka sa isda yung bigas, ipapalit mo sa isda, ganun. Kung meron kang gulay, papalit mo sa ganito, meron kang damit, ipapalit mo sa bigas. So goods, palitan lang. Yung naging problema nila dito is hindi nila matukoy kung eksakto ba yung value. Kasi like for example, yung itlog ipapalit mo sa bigas. So parang hindi talaga nila alam kung tama ba yung value. So, nag-evolve, naisipan nilang gumawa ng pera. So, kung may pera, yun yung parang standard of exchange. Yun yung gagamitin nila pag sa palitan. So, madami silang sinubukan until they found gold. Ito nung unang panahon. So, sobrang ganda kasi ng gold as money. Kasi, number one, hindi siya masisira. Mahirap siyang masira. Kasi sinubukan nila before like yung seashells, sinubukan nila kung ano-ano. One of the problem is nasisira. So, maganda yung gold. At isa pang karakteristik ng gold is mahirap siyang hanapin. Mahirap siyang i-produce. May tinatawag siyang scarcity. Scarce, limited siya. And pag yung isang bagay, kapag limited or kulang yung supply, kapag marami yung gumagamit, tumataas yung value. That's why, yung gold, pataas ng pataas yung value. So, sobrang ganda nung gold as money. So, yung nag-decide nito is mismo yung tinatawag na community, yung mga tao, na ito yung pera natin, walang government, walang company na nag-decide, yung mga tao mismo nagkasundo na ito yung gagawin nating pera. Yun, so yun yung naging pera in that era nung panahon na yun. And as time goes by, nag-evolve uli into metal coins. Bakit? Kasi yung gold mahirap i-divide. Nung una kasi wala pa naman silang parang gold bars lang. So kung medyo maliit yung transaction, parang mahirap mag-sukli, no? Mahirap siyang i-divide. So gumawa sila ng metal coins out of gold pa din. And then, lumipas yung panahon, nag-evolve. Nahirapan sila sa metal coins dahil mabigat. Like, for example, meron kang 1 million transaction. So, nung Nung tumatagal na kasi, lumalakihan na yung transaction. Parang ang hirap bubuhatin mo pa yung gold. So, dito na nagsimula yung tinatawag na paper money. Nung una, ang ginagawa nila is, dinideposito nila yung gold sa bank. Tapos yung bank, ini-issue sila tinatawag na bank notes. Yung bank notes na yon, yung papel na yon, yung ginagawa nilang pera, pambili, pang transact. Until na nag-evolve, nagkaroon na ng tinatawag na government, doon na nagkaroon ng tinatawag na government money. So, nung una, nagsimula, yung pera talaga is backed up by gold. And right now, the money is government backed. Gobyerno yung nagbaback up. Kung papansinin nyo yung pera, mababasa nyo yun. Ang salaping ito ay bayarin ng Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. So, what is the problem kung ganun na yung system? Kasi hindi na tayo back up ng gold. One of the problem is tinatawag lang biggest problem is yung inflation. Nung hindi na kasi back up ng gold, naging unlimited yung supply ng pera. When we say unlimited, doon na pumapasok yung inflation. Every year, nagpiprint ang panibagong supply, nagpiprint ang bagong pera, nai-inflate, lumulubo yung supply, dumadami yung pera. Akala ng iba, pag dumadami yung pera, maganda. Hindi nila alam na kapag dumadami yung pera, bumababa yung supply, yung value. Kaya tinatawag na inflation, na inflate. Bakit pangit yun sa atin? Kasi let's say for example, you are working, nagtatrabaho ka. Ang sweldo mo, let's say 20,000 per month. After 5 years, yung sweldo mo from 20,000, hindi naman yan tataas ng malaki. Tumaas man yan like 21,000, 22,000, ganun lang. Pero, yung value ng pera, malaki yung ibababa kasi magkakaroon ng inflation. Ibig sabihin, kung ngayon yung 20,000, sakto na pambayad ng bills, pang grocery, pagkain, pang gastos. After 5 years, kung ganun pa rin yung sweldo mo, 20,000, mahihirapan ka na kasi tataas na yung presyo ng bilihin. Tataas na siguro yung renta mo, tataas na yung bigas. So, kung ganun pa rin yung pera, mahihirapan ka na kasi inflated na siya, bumaba na yung value. Yan yung pera na yung design sa current currency natin. So, yan yung paper money. It is subject for inflation. And if you can remember during the pandemic, grabe, ilang supply yung na-print. According to statistics, almost 50% to 70% of the money supply was printed during the pandemic. Ibig sabihin, na-inflate yung value ng pera natin, 50% yung ibinaba. Kung mapapansin nyo yung gulay, halos doble yung naging presyo. Kasi nga, dumami yung supply during that time. Bakit? Kasi ginastos nila dun sa ang daming ginastosan during the pandemic. Yung vaccines, yung etc. So madaming ginastosan, maraming perang na print. So yan yung gusto nating i-solve is yung inflation. Itong plastic cards, like ATMs, credit card, piso pa rin siya. Ibig sabihin, it's a paper money na nilagay lang siya sa plastic cards, sa ATM, para mas convenient. Electronic money like GCash, PMaya, the same piso pa rin siya, subject pa rin for inflation. Nilagay lang siya sa digital. And of course, cryptocurrency. So, paano na-create yung cryptocurrency? From the concept na yung paper money is unlimited in supply, subject for inflation, create ngayon yung cryptocurrency. Ibinabalik yung concept na scarce, limited yung supply. Of course, nandiyan pa rin yung characteristic na divisible siya, scarce, mahirap siyang hanapin. Lahat ng characteristic nilagay na sa cryptocurrency. Ano yung concept? Limited yung supply para malabanan yung inflation. Sa cryptocurrency kasi, kung like for example, Bitcoin or FCC coins, yung Bitcoin, mayroon lang siyang 21 million supply. And right now, there are 100 million people that is using and buying Bitcoin. Kaya tumaas yung value niya. So yung Bitcoin, hindi mo na madadagdagan ng supply kasi it is using blockchain. Kung ilan yung supply nung ginawa siya at the start, yun lang. So the same with other cryptocurrency concept, ganyan po yung cryptocurrency. So kaya siya ginawa is to fight inflation. Yun talaga yung pinaka-concept niya. Yung cryptocurrency, kaya nagkaroon ng ganun. Gusto lang ibalik yung pera na dapat yung pera limited in supply. Para habang tumatagal, tumataas yung value. Hindi bumababa. Like say for example, meron kang FCC coins ngayon, binili mo lang siya worth 10,000 pesos. After 5 years, hindi na 10,000 yung value niya. Pwede ng 20, pwede ng 30, depende sa maging adoption or sa pagdami ng gumamit. At the same time, sa pag-adapt ng cryptocurrency ng mga tao, kung gagamitin ba siya o tatanggapin. So that is cryptocurrency. So let's define. So i-define natin na yung cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is a digital or virtual currency. Katulad din siya ng GCash, ng mga digital money na nasa computer or nasa cellphone mo. It's a computer-based currency. Ang pinagkaiba, a digital or virtual currency secured by cryptography and based on a network that is distributed across a large number of computers. Ano yung pinagkaiba? Yung security, yung nagsisecured sa cryptocurrency is cryptography. It's a computer program which is hidden or secret and distributed to the many computer, to the large number of computers. Kaya tinatawag siyang decentralized. Ibig sabihin, wala sa kanyang nagmamayari. Tumatakbo siya sa internet at computer programs, kung maraming computer yung nagpapatakbo sa kanya sa internet. Ang pinagkaiba, like for example sa GCash, centralized siya. Ibig sabihin, merong may-ari. Merong nagkocontrol doon sa system. Like for example, na-hack yung system, yung server ni GCash, automatic hack yung app nila. Sa cryptocurrency, tinatawag siyang unhackable system. Bakit? Yung program is nakakalat sa maraming computer. Meron tumatakbong tinatawag na nodes or validator sa Japan, meron sa Philippines, meron sa Russia, meron sa Hong Kong. So, nakakalat sa buong mundo sa mga iniwan na mayroong computer at niraran yung program. So, kung gusto mo siyang i-hack, kailangan mong sabay-sabay i-access itong madaming computer, which is impossible. Kaya nga tinatawag siyang unhackable system. So, ganyan yung cryptocurrency. It is a digital but secured by cryptography and distributed. Yung program niya is nakadistribute sa madaming computer. Tinatawag siyang decentralized. And it is using blockchain. So, ano yung blockchain? Blockchain is the name of the program. Ito yung pangalan ng program or yung data, a digital database or ledger. Ito yung record ng cryptocurrency that is distributed. So, ito yung dinidistribute. Ito yung computer program na niraran o pinapatakbo ng mga computer among the nodes of a peer-to-peer. yung nodes or yung validator or miner, sila yung nagpapatakbo nung ini-computer na pinapatakbo niya yung program ng cryptocurrency ng blockchain. Tinatawag siyang nodes. Yung ibang term is miner, parehas lang yan, or validators. Aba, peer-to-peer network. So, bakit siya tinatawag na peer-to-peer? Kasi nga, wala siyang tinatawag na central authority. Walang nagmamayari, direct lang. Let's say, for example, meron akong cryptocurrency, gusto kong i-transfer papuntang Amerika, tatanungin ko lang yung kausap ko, ano yung wallet address mo? Pag-transfer ko, diretso na sa kanya. May cryptocurrency ako, gusto kong i-transfer sa Hong Kong, tatanungin ko lang, Coach, ano yung wallet address mo? Pag binigay niya yung wallet address, pag-send ko, diretso na sa kanya. Pair to pair. Person to person. Hindi katulad like for example, meron kang pera, gusto mong i-bank transfer sa ibang ano, hindi mo siya magagawa agad-agad. Pag wire transfer mo, magpapaalam ka sa bank. Ita-transfer ko sa ganito, ano yung purpose, bakit ka magta-transfer ng ganyan, etc. etc. So, ganun siya kasi dadaan siya sa third party. Kumbaga pera nila, ita-transfer mo sa ibang kailangan mong magpaalam. So, ganun siya. Ganyan kaganda yung blockchain. Ganyan kaganda yung cryptocurrency. So, let's take a look how blockchain works. Paano siya nag-work? Let's say sa number 1, a transaction is requested. Gumawa ka ng transaction. Tapos, dun sa wallet mo or dun sa cellphone mo, pag initiate mo ng transaction, a block representing the transaction is created. Tapos, isi-send siya dun sa number 3, the block is sent to every node in the network. Isi-send niya sa lahat ng mga nodes, nung lahat ng may hawak or may copy ng computer program for verification or validation. Sa number 4, the nodes validate the transaction and receive a reward for proof of work. So, let's say for example, na-check lahat ng computers yung copy nila. Pag sama, ibabalidate nila yan. At sa number 5, ilalagay niya sa the block is added to the existing blockchain and transaction is complete. I-update nila yung records nila at final na yon. Once it is finalized, in-update na lahat ng record, let's say 200,000 computers, in-update na nila, hindi mo na pwedeng baguhin yon. Cannot be altered. Kung ano yung na-finalize, cannot be altered. So, ganyan yung blockchain na work. Let's say, for example, dito sa number 1, meron kang, at the start, meron kang 10,000 FCC coins. Gusto mong dayain, let's say, nag-send ka ng 15,000. Automatic, pag send mo dun sa blockchain, i-verify ng mga validators, this group of computers. Since 10,000 lang yung coins mo, tapos sinisin mo 15,000, automatic, i-reject nila yan. Hindi mo madadaya kasi yung copy is nakakalat. Lahat ng computer, may kopya sila kung ano yung data. Kaya tinatawag siyang unhackable system, cannot be altered. So, sa sobrang ganda ng concept ng blockchain, inadapt ng maraming businessman, kaya naging sikat yung cryptocurrency. So, the first cryptocurrency is, tinatawag natin, Bitcoin. So, ang Bitcoin, nagsimula siya 2010. Yung program is ginawa ni Satoshi Nakamoto. Ipinablish niya, tapos niran ng maraming tao sa computers nila. At yun yung ginagamit nilang pera. So, nung 2010, first siyang nagka-value with around 4 to 5 pesos. 2010. Yung value lang ng Bitcoin is 4 to 5 pesos. Right now, magkano yung value ng Bitcoin? 3.2 million pesos per Bitcoin. Imagine, bumili ka lang ng 10 piraso. Sabihin na natin 5 pesos, 50 pesos. Ngayon, kung 3.2 yung isa, 10 yung Bitcoin mo, mayroon kang 32 million pesos from 50 pesos. Ganon kalaki yung tinasang pera mo kung meron kang Bitcoin. Bakit? Kasi from 2010 up to now, more than 100 million people is using Bitcoin. Nasa Gcash, may Gcrypto, nasa PMaya, Coins.ph, nasa Amazon. You can use it sa US into buying kahit anong items. So, ginagamit na siyang pera ng gusto mong ibili ng Ferrari, tinatawag yung Boracay na Bitcoin Island. So, ganun siya kasikat, ganun kadami yung gumagamit. Bakit? Kasi nga, yung Bitcoin, pataas yung value the more na madaming gumagamit. It is decentralized. 24/7, pwede mong gamitin yung pera mo kasi ikaw yung may control. Let's say for example, may pera ka, nasa ATM mo. Kapag offline yung bangko mo, hindi ka makakapag-withdraw. Sa cryptocurrency, wala siyang offline kasi nga it is running in the internet. Wala kang internet, punta ka dun sa kabila na mayroong internet, ma-access mo na yung pera mo. Hindi siya nagba-brown out, hindi siya nag-offline, 24/7 siyang tumatakbo. Ganun kaganda yung cryptocurrency. You can transfer your fund within seconds, within minutes. Walang limit yung transaction, hindi ka lilimitahan. Kaya nga tinatawag siyang peer-to-peer, decentralized. Walang nagko-control sa'yo. So, ganyan yung Bitcoin. Right now, mayroon siyang 3.2 million. And with, let's talk, pag-usapan natin itong market overview. The next bull run. Kung mapapansin nyo, every 4 years, tumataas siya. 2010 to 2014, tapos bumaba. 2014 to 2018, tapos bumaba. 2018 to 2022, tapos bumaba. And right now, from 2024 to 2026, 25, 27, 28, tinatawag siyang bull run. 4 years na pataas yung market. So kung ito yung next bull run, what we will do? We need to invest into cryptocurrency right now. Kasi next bull run, papataas yung market. So, if you are thinking about savings, if you're thinking to rest para sa future, the best is right now is cryptocurrency. So, aside sa next bull run, itong financial shift, the financial shift from fiat to digital and blockchain is just starting. And we believe this is the best time to develop and invest in cryptocurrency. Right now, ang sinasabi nila, the future is cryptocurrency. After 10 years, 20 years, wala nang paper money. Ang gagamitin na is cryptocurrency. Kasi lahat ng tao, pag kinausap mo, ano yung gusto mong gamiting pera? Yung papababa yung value? Yung pag tumagal yung panahon, mas mahihirapan ka na? Bakit? Pababa yung value ng pera mo, yung trabaho mo, yung business mo, yung kikitain nila, paliit. Bakit? Kasi yung perang kikitain nila, lumiliit yung value. Or, yung gusto mong gamitin yung perang tumataas yung value. Kapag na-internalize nila yan, nakuha nila yung concept, kahit sino, Elon Musk, bakit siya nag-cryptocurrency? Bakit Bitcoin? Bakit gusto nila? Kasi naiintindihan nila yung ganong concept. Diba? Robert Kiyosaki. BlackRock is the biggest investment company in the world. BlackRock investment firm. Sa top 500 companies in the world, BlackRock ang pinakamayroong malaking shares. Bitcoin yung pinopromote nila ngayon kasi nakikita nila yung ganyang concept. So if this is big names and big companies are into cryptocurrency, bakit tayo hindi? Diba? So this time we are sharing this kasi para makasabay kayo. Kasi ako, I started from 2016. Nakabali ako ng 2 Bitcoin and it helps me a lot. Ayaw kong baka sabihin na nagyabang yan. Ayaw kong magyabang kasi as in, yung Bitcoin from 2016 helped me a lot. Yun yung bumubuhay sa amin. Yan. So, cryptocurrency is very good. Everyone is using it right now. Everyone is into cryptocurrency. Lalong-lalo na ngayon, tumataas yung Bitcoin. Bitcoin has recently accepted as sa Bitcoin ETF, na-approve sila ng SEC. Ibig sabihin, ETF is Exchange Traded Fund. Legal, you can buy, own, and trade any company, any person, pwede nang i-trade yung Bitcoin. So, ganun siya, kaya tumataas. So, ganda pala ng Bitcoin, sir. Ano naman yung FCC coins? Ano itong pinopromote natin na FCC coins? So, kahit maganda yung Bitcoin, there are some limitations, Kasi nung ginawa yung Bitcoin way back 2010, ang program niya is 7 transactions per seconds. Ngayon, sa sobrang daming gumagamit ni kanya, ang daming transaction per seconds na. Which is, parang kung sa pila, nagpipila na, that's why yung iba, nilalakihan na nila yung gas fee, yung sending fee, para mauuna yung transaction nila. Kasi if you transact in Bitcoin network right now, you need to wait like 30 minutes to 1 hour para lang mag-success or ma-confirm yung transaction mo. So, kung gusto natin gawing mainstream or adoption yung cryptocurrency, kailangan mabilis kasi yung tao gusto nila mas mabilis. That's why we created First Choice Coin daw. Ang tawag natin dito is alternative coins or altcoins. Para matulungan yung Bitcoin. Hindi na Bitcoin lagi yung isi-send. FCC coin yung isi-send, it is exchangeable to Bitcoin. Pwede mo siyang i-swap to Bitcoin para kung gusto mo Bitcoin, pwede mo i-swap doon. Gusto mo i-swap sa dollar, pwede mo siyang i-swap. Ito yung FCC coins. So, FCC coin is Filipino Initiative Cryptocurrency Project. So, Pilipino yung nag-initiate for the purpose na ma-share natin sa mga Pilipino yung cryptocurrency. Yan yung purpose natin. Ito, First Choice Coin daw is a cryptocurrency initiative that evolves around Filipino-inspired collection. The primary goal of First Choice Coin daw is to facilitate the inclusion of individual who are unbanked and less privileged in the decentralized finance ecosystem into the cryptocurrency world. To facilitate, ang pinaka-purpose natin, ang pinaka-aim natin is magkaroon tayo ng pera para sa mga Pilipino, para gagamitin natin that it is a cryptocurrency. Limited in supply, papatas yung value in the future. At the same time, we can use it to educate para maturuan natin sila kung ano yung cryptocurrency, maturuan natin sila ano yung decentralized finance, ano yung decentralized, ano yung blockchain, kaya natin ginagawa ito. So, if you have money, we will teach you through FCC coins how to get involved into cryptocurrency, paano kumikita, paano ba yung staking, ano ba yung NFT, ano ba yung blockchain. So, through cryptocurrency, we wanted to help you. So, FCC coins is the one that will fuel our activities. So, yan yung cryptocurrency. Gumagawa tayo ng event, ng presentation like this one, para matuto kayo about cryptocurrency. At the same time, kumita kayo. Kung makikita nyo sa ating website, ano yung motto natin? let's promote cryptocurrency adoption and build wealth. I-promote natin yung cryptocurrency at the same time, yumaman tayo sa crypto. So, yan yung purpose ng first choice coin. So, nagsimula siya May 2022. Ginawa natin yung FCC token. Nilist natin siya sa QuickSwap. Tapos sa June 2022, nilast natin yung affiliate. And we have also our NFT, collectibles. Core founder, we have Alvin Abalos, ako po yun, and Angel. Sa our core co-founder. In our advisory, we have retired General, PNP General Leonardo Cisneros. And of course, we have also Dilip. And we have the BIPs. So, BIP is the one part of the DAO. Pag sinabi natin DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organization, itong mga taong to, yung tutulong magpatakbo. We are not. So, tumatakbo tayo hindi sa isang tao. Tumatakbo tayo bilang DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organization. Every FCC coin holder is an co-owner. Kapag may coin ka, you need to care about the community. Kasi pag naging successful yung community, yung coins, tumaas yung value, benefited ka. Kapag mayroon coins ka, you need to promote it. Kasi kapag lumago yan, kasama ka. At the same time, yung decision making and management is not centered dun sa founders. It is centered through the decision of the BIP. Kung part ka ng BIP, you can create proposal. Kung mayroon kang magandang idea, you can present your idea. And it is, pag-desisyonan yan, tapos pwedeng i-implement. So, ganyan siya. It can run without any single person na mag-control. It will run through community decision. Ganon yung DAO. So, ganon natin niraran yung FCC. So, paano tayo kumikita? Paano kumikita yung FCC coins? So, we earn through yield farming. Source of earning natin is yield farming. FCC DAO provide liquidity, fund in crypto exchanges and crypto lending and borrowing platform, and earn exchange fee and interest in return. So, nag-allocate tayo ng fund, tapos nilalagay natin sa yield farming para kumikita siya. At ginagamit natin yan to buy back and to add liquidity para papataas yung value ni FCC. Nag-staking din tayo sa mga validator service, sa mga like yung computer na nag-run ng blockchain programs is what we call validator nodes. So, sumasali tayo sa ganon so that we can help secure the network, validate transaction, and earn sending fee or gas fee in return. Ganyan po yung ginagawa natin. So, well, do you wanted to explore? Ano pa yung gusto nating itayo as businesses or source of earnings in the future? Gusto nating kung makakagawa tayo ng mga NFT and play to earn games, kung yan, daming gamers, daming naglalaro. Gusto natin magkaroon ng ating FCC powered chains of groceries or convenience stores powered by FCC coins, or online shopping mobile app. So, madami tayong gustong gawin. So, yan yung FCC, yung ating ginagawa. Also, we have the first choice coin overview. Tingnan natin paano ba talaga tumatakbo yung FCC coins. Paano siya gumagalaw. Paano yung parang operation. So first, dito yung user, let's say for example, ah, si user, someone na gustong maging part ng ating community, bumili siya ng FCC coins. Users buy FCC. Of course, hindi ka magkakaroon ng FCC coins kung hindi ka bumili from the market or from someone na mayroong FCC coins. So, yung pag bumili ka, yung fund is pupunta sa tinatawag nating DAO Treasury Wallet. And from DAO Treasury Wallet, nilalagay natin sa yield farming or into staking para kumikita siya. Pag kumikita siya, nilalagay natin sa exchange, yung additional liquidity and earnings. At si user, he can sell FCC coins from the exchanger anytime. Gusto niya mag-withdraw ng earnings, gusto niya i-sell yung coins niya, punta lang siya sa exchanger. This is decentralized. You can do it in your cell phone. Ikaw mismo yung nagko-control. Anytime na gusto mong withdraw, kahit hating gabi yan, kahit anong oras yan, you can do it. Kasi nga, we are cryptocurrency, we are in the blockchain, at nandun tayo sa exchange. So, kung kailangan mo, you can do it. So, how much you can earn in FCC? Paano ba kumikita pag bumili ka ng FCC coins, ano? Right now, you can earn through trading and staking. So, I do not really, suggest yung trading kasi risky siya. You can lose money. So, what we suggest is yung staking. Bakit? This is for long-term na strategy. Kasi you have work, you have way to earn. Ito naman is parang for your future. So, let's say for example, nagsimula ka sa FCC, nag-stake ka ng worth $100 na coins. This example is, maliit siya, 11,600 FCC coins, for example, Kapag nilagay mo siya sa staking, yung $100 mo, meron kang 11,600 FCC coins. Kapag nilagay mo siya sa staking, kikita siya everyday ng 31 FCC coins. Sa monthly, nasa 930 FCC coins. And in 1 year, kikita siya ng another 11,600 for a 100% staking earnings. So, yung staking earnings natin ngayon nasa 100%. Ibig sabihin, kung gaano karami yung coins mo, it can earn 100% in 1 year pag nilagay mo sa staking. So, this, for the first year, from 11,600 FCC coins, it will become 23,200 total FCC coins for 1 year staking. Pag kinumpund mo siya, nirolling mo po staking, in 3 years, from 11,600 worth $100 FCC coins, it can go to 66,816 FCC coins. After 3 years, kung 10 pesos yung value ng coins, i-times mo lang, 66,000 times 10, 600,000 yung value ng pera mo from 5,000 pesos, 5,700. So, depende sa price ng FCC coins kung magkano yung value ng pera mo. Pero sigurado na in 3 years, aabot yan ng 66,000 coins. Kung piso yung value ng FCC that time, edi 66,000 times 1 peso, 66,000 from 5,700. Kung 50 cents, let's say, bababa, 50 centavos lang, is 66,000 times 0.5, nasa 33,400 yung pera mo from 5,000 pesos. Kahit 30 cents, nasa 20,000 plus pa rin yung pera mo from 5,700 pesos. So, ganyan kalaki yung potential na worst case scenario, 0.20 cents. Diba? Pero kung naging 10 pesos yan, naging 2 pesos, 5 pesos, grabe yung earnings. Nangyayari lang to sa cryptocurrency. Bakit? Kasi nga, limited yung supply ng coins. The more na madami yung bibili, the more na tataas yung cryptocurrency market, tumataas yung value niya. That is for $100 or 5,700 pesos. Ito naman kung nag-start ka with $700 cap, bumili ka ng $700 worth of FCC coins. Let's say, example, 81,200 FCC coins yan. Ang daily earnings mo niyan is 222 FCC coins. Monthly mo is nasa 6,600 FCC coins. And sa 1 year, another 82,200. So, in 1 year, from 82,000, magiging 162,400 yung FCC coins mo. Pag in-stake mo siya in 1 year. Sa second year, pag kinumpund mo, ni-restake mo, no, tataas yung daily earnings mo. In 3 years, again, let's compute in 3 years, aabot ng 467,000 coins yung maiipon mo in 3 years. This computation is for yearly na kinukompound mo, nire-restate. You can compound it much faster kung i-compound mo siya ng every month or every 2 months, every 3 months. Siyempre, mas malaki pa yan. So, kung nakaipon ka ng 467 coins after 3 years, 10 pesos yung target price ng FCC. Let's say 10 pesos yung price. 8 times mo lang, 467 times 10, 4.6 million yung value ng pera mo from $700. Nasa 39,000 plus, almost 40,000 pesos. Diba? Sa ngayon, cryptocurrency lang yung nagbigay ng ganitong parang sobrang taas na return. Kahit tingnan nyo yung history ng cryptocurrency. So, kung hindi naman 10 pesos yung value, let's say mas mababa, depende sa value, imumultiply mo lang sa number of coins mo. But, sigurado yan na yung FCC coins mo is kimikita siya every day. Kasi naka-blockchain program na yan. It cannot be altered. It is running already. So, yung iba naman, mas gusto nila yung BIP. Kasi nga, you will be part of the BIP group. You can have your own voice for the, yung parang, you can be part of the group na magdi-decide in the future of first choice coin daw. So, dito, ang pinakapital niya is nasa 1,930, $1,930 or nasa 110 pesos lang. Ang daily mo nito is nasa 602 FCC coins. Monthly mo nasa 80,000 FCC coins. Let's say, yung FCC coins mo, pag kinumpound mo yan, nire-stake mo in 3 years, pwede kang makaipon in 3 years ng 1.2 million FCC coins. Just for 3 years, Of course, kung pwede gusto mong i-compute sa 4th year, pwede pa sa 5th year, until sa 10 years, 20 years, kasi nasa sayo yan. Sa amin kasi, after 3 years, for sure, you will get or magsisell ka niyan . So, let's say, nakaipon ka ng 1.2 million coins after 3 years. Kung 10 pesos yung value that time, 10 pesos times 1.2, may 12 million ka na value ng pera mo. Hindi mo yan mauubos kaka-grocery kung may FCC grocery na that time. Hindi mo ganyan yung potential niya. Staking lang, hindi mo siya kailangang bantayan, hindi mo kailangang tingnan every hour, hindi ka kakabahan na baka bumaba o baka tumaas. So, let your money grow. Lagay mo siya sa staking para everyday dumadagdag yung coins mo. Of course, we have the affiliate. If you are interested about the affiliate, the person who share to you about FCC, can discuss it to you para mas we have also travel incentives doon sa mga gusto maging part ng affiliate ng FCC. Our next travel incentive is to Singapore. So next year tayo lilipad, ganyan lang. So what is this for you? Ano yung what it is for you? Bakit ka mag-ano sa FCC ko? Number one, yung emerging market, yung tinatawag na emerging market. Bakit madaming sumasabay? Kasi nga papausbong. Yung tao kasi monkey see, monkey do. Kung ano yung uso, yun din yung gusto ng mga tao. So right now, ano yung uso? Cryptocurrency. That's why sasabayan natin. Or mauuna tayo. Ang pinakamaganda kasi, mauuna pa tayo. Bakit? Tingnan nyo sa Pilipinas, ilan pa lang. Sa mga kakilala nyo na lang, ilan yung may cryptocurrency? Karamihan dyan, sasabihin, scam. Bakit? May nagkwento sa kanila, in-scam lang sila. Bakit? Sabihin, bigyan mo sa akin yung pera mo, ite-trading natin, bigyan kita 20% per month. Akin na yung pera mo, invest natin sa ganito, bigyan kita 20%. Hindi po ganun yung cryptocurrency. Sa cryptocurrency, bibili ka ng coins, pagtaas ng value ng coins, kumita ka. Bibili ka ng coins, or mayroong project, susuportahan mo yan. Paano mag-support? Like for example, FCC coins. How you will support FCC? Kung mayroon kang product, o di sabihin mo, pwede to FCC payment. Kung mayroon kang kakilala, you try mo FCC coins, staking mo. Ito, pre 100 FCC coins. Ganun yung nagsosupport. Kasi sinusuportahan mo yung coins para tumaas yung value kasi meron ka. Hindi to something na, akin na yung pera mo, gagawin natin ganito. Yung 10,000 mo, gawin kong 10,000 ko. Hindi ganun. We are buying an asset, yung cryptocurrency. Kasi every time na bumibili ka ng FCC coins, may corresponding fund yan na kumikita every day sa yield farming. Yung fund niya nagwo-work every day. Kaya kung nag-work yan every day, tumataas yung value niyan. That is for you. If you are, like for example, if you are OFW looking for na makapag-pour good, wala kang ibang maisip kasi every time na pinapadala mo dun sa kamag-anak ko, ito, try natin mag-business na lulugi lang. I am telling you, you put it into cryptocurrency. So, nag-iisip ka na, paano ba ako na in the future, I will live financially free? Na with the interest, mabubuhay na ako. Let's say for example, kung may 20 million ka sana naka-invest ngayon, kumikita lang yan ng 2%, buhay na buhay ka na. Kaya lang wala. Let's say, kaya nga, mag-invest tayo sa cryptocurrency. In the future, pag tumaas yung value ng pera natin, sa interest pa lang, or sa earnings pa lang, yun, buhay na natin, magagawa na natin yung gusto natin gawin. That's why we are presenting this one. Kasi, unang-una pa tayo. Wala pang 5%, wala pang 10% sa world population yung gumagamit at nagki-crypto. Huwag niyong hintayin na kayo na yung panghuling gagamit kasi lahat gumagamit na. Kayo na yung panghuling bibili or mag-invest sa cryptocurrency kasi lahat nag-invest na. As early as now, mag-invest na po tayo. So,